Well, welcome to the Citadel for Metal Fellowship here at Progressive Rock Central. And today, an absolutely incredible interview. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's Kai von Pannier. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Is that good?
Correct,
Oh,
correct.
darn, good. I've been practicing because I've made some mistakes. Uh, but thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to discuss your internet radio station, radio show, the Iceberg Rock Show. And it is fantastic. Wait till you hear some of the people he has interviewed, talked to, bands. I mean, I've been kind of following him to find some great things. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But before we go there, just tell us a little bit about your background in music, how and why you started the Iceberg Rock Show, and just talk about how the whole thing got started. And mention, um, I should have mentioned it, but I'll let you do it. But go ahead and tell us where you're from.
Okay, right. As I'm quite an old person, there's a long story. So I'll give you the 40,000 foot elevator version. Yeah, I'm originally from Germany, and my roots are still in Germany, and my family's all in Germany. How I got to South Africa, I mean, that's a movie on its own. But suffice to say, this is where I am at the moment.
Can I
Um,
interrupt you just for a second? What part of Germany?
a little
Or,
town called Witzenhausen, which is in the center of Germany, in the province of Hessen.
okay, the reason I ask is I've got ancestors in Ulm, and my uh, uncle actually went back there, traced the whole history, and brought back a Mercedes from from Germany. And he had his name and everything, showing that he got it from the factory. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, no. Originally, my family we are actually from Berlin,
Oh,
but
okay.
during the Second World War, with everything going on there, my grandfather moved us all to our country home in the countryside to get away from all the bombings and keep the family safe. And
Yeah.
then we never got back to Berlin because that was taken over by the Russians.
Yep. The
That's another
wall.
movie.
Yeah. A lot of people forget there was a wall there. Yeah.
Yeah. And, when the wall came down, we all ran across, and the house that we had doesn't exist anymore. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was lost during the war and everything. But yeah. Um, yeah, after I finished school in South Africa, I decided to take a gap year before going to university. And
I should
I
have
kind
done
of like
that.
I kind of like fell in and I started a band called Black Rose. And we were mainly a cover band. We did lots of like Thin Lizzy, Led Zeppelin, that
Yeah.
era guitar band stuff. Um, and then that wasn't paying the bills, so I had to get a real job.
And
So I ended up working in a bank, and long story short, I ended
oh,
up in the
wow.
IT industry,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
as
That's
far
a,
away from music as you could get.
yeah. Yeah.
But I never lost sight of it. And, occasionally I'd meet mates who were in bands and I'd go and jam with them and stuff like that, but never seriously. Then after about 35, 40 years in the IT industry, I'd woke up one day and I said, that's it. I can't
Hmm.
take this anymore. I mean, it was a high paying, great job, sounded great, working for a blue chip company, but I was flying all over the world and I was just tired of it. And
Burning
I said,
out. Yeah.
I woke up and I went into the office and I just put in my resignation. And when I went home, I told my wife, I've just resigned. She said, what are you going to do now? And I said, I have no idea.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Okay, so that
That's not what
restart.
they want to hear. I have a wife, and no.
Unfortunately, she had a great job.
Well, that's good. Yeah, mine does too. But she still wouldn't want to. She wouldn't want to hear me say, "Well, I'm just
Yeah.
going to relax and take it
So,
easy."
I mean, I was totally burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm a recovering alcoholic because
Oh, all right.
it actually drove me, all the entertain. Anyway, um, so I ended up as marketing manager for Harley Davidson South Africa,
Oh, wow. That's a good job.
which was kind of like going from IT to marketing was quite a leap.
Yeah.
But I was riding Harleys at that time. They needed someone, and it just happened that way.
Uh,
And one of the big things with um, Harley Davidson is obviously music is one of their core things, rallies and everything like that. So I used to start organizing the big international rallies. And with that, I slowly fell into the music business again. Um, and then I left Harley after I'd actually started my own production company with a partner. And we did all the logistics for the big bands when they came to Durban here in South Africa. So we did like all the backline stuff and everything like that for like Brian Adams, Metallica. I mean,
wow.
the list just goes on and on and on. And that started, then I started like, obviously with that, I started looking for band opening acts for the touring band, artists coming out. And that kind of started up, why don't we start a music management company? So we started like managing local bands and trying to get them out there. And one band that I came across, they were called Mantis.
Oh, yeah.
And they had no, but it's not the Mantis you thinking
Oh,
of.
oh, okay.
Okay, there's another Mantis. And they had an uncanny sound to Uriah Heep,
No, wow.
which they didn't know. They were doing Uriah Heep type harmonies, and their
They
sound of
didn't
their own
realize it.
material. They never knew it. And after their show, I went and I said, "Look, do you know you sound like Uriah Heep in that?" And they said, "No, who's Uriah Heep?"
Oh, God.
So that was quite interesting. So
Yeah.
at that stage, through a long story, I was very friendly with Ken Hensley of Uriah Heep. He
Yeah.
was the founder member and everything. And I got a hold of Ken and I said, I've got this band in South Africa and I want, take a listen and maybe we can do something with them. And he took one listen. He said, yeah, bring them over to Spain and let's record them. And he'll produce the album, which we then did. But then the whole band fell to pieces before we got to Spain. I was left with the lead singer, and she was actually basically she was the band. I mean,
Yeah. She was a draw.
she was writing all the stuff. It didn't matter. We could replace everything. So Ken organized a whole lot of session musicians, and then he ended up playing keyboard and guitar on the album as well. And yeah, that like really started my whole musical journey off again. And then I had other bands that I tracked and took overseas to record, and we got some gigs over there for them. Um, and then I kind of like took a back seat, and then because I wasn't actually earning money, I was having more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I know how that
so
can be.
So I thought, well, I just started up a small IT company and we do sort of contract work and everything like that. And we still do that now. And there's just like four of us and we're very loose. If somebody needs something, we'll write it for them, that type of thing. And that's now a bit of a hobby. And my hobby is now turning into a non-paying job again.
Mm.
And that is how I got into the Iceberg was a good friend of mine, Mad Brad, who does um, what's it, the circus, the horror circus show or something. He phoned me and he said, Kai, why don't you come and be a DJ on Bulldogs Radio? They're looking for good DJs. And I said, yeah, it's quite a thing because it's a commitment, every
Yeah.
week. And so I said, okay, well, I'll
You have your
try it out.
time slot.
I'll do one show a week. And long story short, that's how I got the bug.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, from the Iceberg and the Iceberg Rock Show, because I do three different shows, but it's all basically the same show. But because of branding on different stations, they don't want to be syndicated. I just call it something else. And then other stations started picking me up. And now I'm out on 8 stations.
Wow. Good.
So, yeah, and that's on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. So that is like
Keeps you
quite a
busy.
lot of
Yeah.
quite a lot of time
People,
because
I used to be a DJ, and people don't realize how much work is involved in that.
mm,
Looking for new bands and having to sit and listen to them and check to see, is this what I want, and making sure everything matches. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what all goes into that, putting together a show and then having some inside fillers and things like that. Yeah, yeah, it takes a lot.
no, no, it's a huge amount of work, but fortunately, I love doing it,
Yeah,
and
it's fun. Yeah, no,
yeah,
but
and
it's
I
still
mean
work. Yeah,
the original format of the show, I thought, well, let me play like the music I like,
yeah,
and I went back to my roots, and I was playing early Pink Floyd, the stuff that I
yeah,
grew up, early Santana, early the original Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green, 10 years after, all that sort of stuff, the stuff I grew up with. And then I started thinking, no, let me start playing a bit of Nightwish. And I started putting Nightwish and Within Temptation and those bands onto my playlists. And I was getting good feedback because of that. And then I started I spent so much time on YouTube,
yeah.
going down rabbit holes and following bands and listening.
That
And I'm
that
sure
is
it's the same.
That is what I was, and I do some of that myself. Where do you find these bands? Because he's all right. Let's talk about the big one for me is part of the theory. I mean, when you posted that, no, no, I absolutely love these guys. I think they could, and I know people are laughing at me, but I don't care. I think once they drop that album, they won't be laughing anymore. But they could be. They could be. I don't know yet because I've only heard the one song, but they could be the next Led Zeppelin. I really do think so. They have the potential. The potential. The Vicky is just unbelievable, but the guitarists are out of this world. A couple of them even look like Jimmy Page, and the music is so dynamic and different that for me it just when you put that up there and I went out on, like you said, the rabbit hole looking for them, and I was like, oh my God, I got to make contact with these guys. And I think within a week or so I had done that, did the review of the single and then the interview. And that was, meeting them face to face on Zoom was just incredible. But how do you find those? I
Well,
was looking, and I have to admit one thing. I used to do that all the time. I was doing all this research, looking for bands. And then I started getting lazy and going back to a lot of the bands that I, had already interviewed, reviewed, things like that, with new albums and doing that kind of thing. But I'm going to in these next 2 weeks. I'm going to go back and do what I used to do. But I want to find another one of those part of the theories. Well, tell us about that story real quick, because it's I'm telling you, when I saw that, it was like, wow. And not only
well,
saw it, but heard it. Yeah.
YouTube sent it to me, okay, because I've got
No
a couple of
kidding.
bands. in Athens. Athens has got some great bands. In
Oh
fact,
yeah.
there's Absinthe Green, obviously Passengers in Panic, Misty Route. The list goes on.
Mistfall.
Okay,
Mistfall. Have you heard of them?
Mist. Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
She's an operatic singer too. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and I think it was Absinthe Green. They said you got to listen. There's a band around called Part of the Theory. They haven't got stuff out, but they're going to be releasing stuff. Look out for it. And it wasn't like a week later after I'd spoken to Irene from Absinthe Green, because she wants to, and this, I don't know if this is going to happen, but we're working on the project. She wants to have a Iceberg rock show in Athens
Oh
with
wow.
six of the bands that are featured on the show. So they're trying to push that together. And obviously, Part of the Theory or part of that. And YouTube just popped up Part of the Theory. And I thought, oh, I remember that name. And when I just saw that music video, I just went ballistic. I
Yeah.
think I had it on loop for about an hour.
Yeah.
You
I did
know, it
too.
was just like, and when I spoke to Vicky and them, everyone has been saying that, oh, it sounds like Alanis Morissette
Hmm.
and the vocals. And I said, no, to me, it's more like Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And she actually said, you're right. It like she's more influenced by Kate Bush. It's just like a couple of notes and runs that she does. It sounds like Alanis Morissette. And I actually said to them, how are you going to follow this? Because you've set the bar so high
Ah,
for
yeah.
yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they actually said they have no idea because it's insane.
Yeah,
But
when I
yeah,
interviewed them, they said they were still working on some things and they weren't sure
mm,
even if they would have an album out in 26. And I'm like, you gotta, you or people are gonna throw you in that one hit wonder syndrome.
yeah,
And they
they've
are
got to
not.
drop.
They
They,
are definitely not one hit wonders. But you got to follow up. You really have to.
yeah,
And I hope
I said to them, they've got to drop within the next 6 months another single just to
or
keep
at
everyone
least a
going.
single. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have to forget about EPs and albums because I firmly believe in today's music listenership, you keep dropping singles, you're going to get further than
Yeah.
dropping an album.
Yeah, you're probably right for
And
streaming
it,
these days.
hey,
Yeah.
you go back to the 60s with the Beatles
Oh
and
yeah.
all that whole era, you just had singles.
Yeah.
And then when they had 6 or 7 singles, then they drop an album.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you're right. They've got to do something because
mm,
they have so much potential. I mean,
mm.
and when you've got the audience and they're like, yeah, come on, give me the next one. And you're like, you keep waiting and waiting. And I know they want to, like she said in my interview, they want to get it right. They don't want to just throw something
Nah.
out there. I get that. But I know they can put something together. I hope it's soon. Yeah. Well, that what you said is I didn't know about that. That is fantastic. If they're going to do a radio show down there, and
Whoa. Yeah,
hopefully,
it's a question of finding sponsors at the end of the day. You know, the
yeah,
bands are key, but these things do cost money. So I said, well, if we're going to do it, you know, we'll do it outside broadcast, whatever, you know, don't worry about paying me. I'll do it for the love of it. But yeah. But anyway, I think we've digressed there. Um, yeah, so as I was saying, I was playing all the music on my show that I wanted to hear. Then I started playing symphonic metal, and then I started thinking, well, there must be more bands.
yeah,
And then I decided, well, let me focus on female fronted rock bands.
yeah,
And now, I mean, my show now is I don't play any mainstream stuff.
yeah. No, I don't either. I don't.
You know, there's far too many radio shows doing classic
Yeah.
hits and blah blah blah. It's crap. Sorry, shouldn't say that, but
Well,
it is.
and it's
Now
either
move
that,
on.
or it's they're getting enough attention. They don't need any help or I mean,
No,
bands like, Part of the Three, they need that help to get
correct.
out there because they are creating something that's genuine and good quality. The other one is and since you mentioned Kate Bush, uh, Luna Marble. Oh my God.
Yes, brilliant.
Did you ever, the minute I heard her, my wife and I were talking about it, I said, she sounds just like her. And then I went on YouTube and found an old interview that Kate did. And when she's talked, because there's stuff on YouTube with the lead singer. I haven't memorized
Mm.
names yet, but the lead singer of Luna Marble, just talking, just generally talking. And I compared them. I'm like, oh my God, it's scary. It is just scary. And if you can imagine Kate Bush doing the blues, I mean, that's probably the second biggest surprise of this year. How did you find them? That was another good one.
Same way.
Huh?
Exactly. No, wait.
Same way?
What's happened? What's happened in the last couple of years? Once the show started getting traction, the PR companies and the record labels started making contact with me.
Come to you. Yeah, that's the way you want it.
So, I mean, as I sit here, I can see I've got 125 submissions still to get through.
Oh my goodness. There's more coming.
Now, I'm getting up to like close on 200 a week
Wow.
from all over the world. And I can't possibly listen to all of them. So
Yeah.
um, I kind of like got a good feel just from the band name. I will immediately
Yeah.
disqualify them.
No, that's true. No, that's very true.
And when the PR companies, say death metal, I immediately that's out. I don't do Cookie Monster stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I
I, I
don't mind.
like
I
I
don't
like the
mind it.
way.
I
No,
don't mind it if it's in context of the song. But like after the first three bars, when you suddenly get no, I'm not there.
thank you.
Um,
Oh my God, it's so wonderful to hear that. All this screaming and yelling and making women scream and yell.
nah,
Why? Why?
nah. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I can't hear it in my anyway. So
there you go.
there I go, and that's where now the whole thing has basically become a big machine. And I have certain days where I start doing stuff like Wednesdays and Thursdays I'll do interview. Friday I start the playlist prep. Um, go through all the submissions, scream through. But now I've got over about 700 bands now on my list that I've played. They're contacting me. So they're actually sending me
Can't
their
beat that.
stuff, you
You
know,
can't beat that. Yeah.
um, to the effect that my feature slot, because I do a feature every week of one band, half-hour feature, it's booked up about 2, 3 months ahead.
Hmm.
So I'm booked already. The show's booked till the end of March,
Excellent. That is good.
which is great because before I'd have to like chase people.
Yeah.
Now I say get in the queue, you know, I can slot you in at this time.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind
That
of
that's
like a
finally happening for me too. Yeah.
it's kind of like a self-perpetuating machine. It's now feeding itself. So I think I'm going to rename my show and call it Seymour because it's just like feed me the whole time.
That's good.
I call it the
Well,
Seymour Show.
yeah. Now I mentioned two of the my favorites there. What are some of your favorite bands from 20? And first of all, do you agree with me that 2025 has been a landslide of good bands, I think. And then who are some of your favorites of 2025?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to disagree with you on 2025.
Okay.
I think since COVID, there has been a landslide of new bands and great music. And maybe that's because I was blissfully unaware of it, because I was still stuck in, oh, they don't put out any good music these days and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing. And I keep on
Yeah.
saying to my friends, they're sitting around having a few drinks, and they say, "Well, what bands are you listening to?" And I'll say, "Oh, Passages and Pannier, Hot Light, this, that, Lunar Marble, blah 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 blah." And they say, "Who are those guys?" I said, "Well, take a listen, because these youngsters are pushing out some phenomenal, great music."
Yeah.
And but I mean, then at night, if I'm really, I'll sink back into my old Pink Floyd,
Well,
Pink
yeah.
Floyd music, and that stuff. Because my music taste literally goes from ABBA to ZZ Top,
Yeah. Well,
and
the other
everything
half
in
of
between.
this is Prague, which I don't know how much you like Prague, but I'll introduce you to some bands that might blow you away, like Atomic Time from Brazil. These guys absolutely, it's not Pink Floyd, but it's as if you pretended that Pink Floyd didn't exist, it's like a new version of that coming
Mm.
out of nowhere. And it's the thing that makes their sound so wonderful. It's a father and son duo, and the father's a guitarist, fantastic guitarist, and
Oh,
the son is like a young Rick Wakeman. And I'm telling you, this kid is, you're going to be hearing more. I think you're going to be hearing more and more about him. He just knows the keyboards like, some of the greats that we grew up with. But yeah, if you haven't heard them yet, if you reach out to them, I know they'd be more than happy. And if you need email or whatever, I'm sure they'd be happy to be on the show. But
mm.
just absolutely fantastic. And one of my biggest finds of the year.
Yeah. I think one of the questions I asked all the bands I interviewed, after COVID and that. I said, "How did it affect you?" And it actually was a blessing in disguise, because it gave the bands time to create.
Yeah.
I mean, I was interviewing an Irish band, and I can't remember their name. And they said they had their album ready to release. They
Oh,
already had their release shows
yeah.
booked, and then lockdowns came. And then they waited 3 months, lockdown lifted, and then they were organizing, and then another lockdown. And
Mm.
in the end, they said, "Stuff it, there's a couple of things they're not happy with on the album." And they went back and they redid a whole lot of their stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
there's a few bands that have done that.
Yeah.
You know? And then when they finally got to play live, they said the I can't remember who it was. I think it was Absent Green, in fact. They said they could have played like completely out of tune and like absolute rubbish. And the people were so hungry to see live music again,
They
they
were,
just fed off each other. And they
yeah.
said that there was just the huge, like push,
Yeah.
and it actually fueled a whole lot of stuff. So maybe COVID wasn't that bad,
It
you
may
know?
have helped. Yeah. It may have helped people get reorganized.
Mm.
I think you're right. Yeah. But if you got everything ready to release and that happens, that's not a good thing. But yeah, they made it through it.
Yeah.
Do bands actually send you CDs or is it all MP3s?
Um, okay, this is actually quite a fun story. The South African Postal Service doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So
Well, ours is
answer
ours
to
is
that.
under lock and key from a nuthead who's in charge of the
So,
country.
so what I do is I get the bands to send me CDs and merch to my mother in Germany,
Oh my
and
God.
then every 3 months when there's a stockpile, I then courier it over here.
Oh, wow.
Because otherwise it just won't get here.
Yeah. Yeah. But most of yours are MP3s then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Look, I always request WAV files.
yeah. Okay.
Because by the time they broadcast, they get compressed so much anyway
Yeah.
that you might as well go in with a big mother and get as much out the other side of the sausage machine than if you go in with a small mother, and then it
Right.
just gets compressed more.
Let me ask you another one. I'm working as hard as I can to help these bands. What kind of public relations press releases do you ever get EPKs, electronic, and what are they like? Because a lot of these bands, they're not marketers, they're not public
Mm.
relations people, they're musicians, but you need to show your brand the right way. Do you get those or do you have
Oh
to?
yeah, yeah, and it's a sad thing. In fact, I was listening to a band tonight um, called Dahlia, and they said, here's our music. It's on Spotify." And I said, "Well, that's no good to me.
Yeah,
We can't broadcast through Spotify. It's illegal,
yeah,
you know." So straight away, like, there's your first mistake, and their bio is just like a paragraph on an email.
yeah.
Like, dudes, get your act together. And I agree with you. A lot of them don't do good EPKs, but a lot of them do. I mean,
That's
like,
good to
times
hear.
have changed, but yeah, most of the EPKs I get are pretty good. Um,
That it's like I tell them, that's you. You're sending a piece of you out there. How do you want people to perceive it? Do you want to, oh, this is junk? Or, oh my God, they really organized all this. They made it easy for me. As a review, I also do reviews. I want that. Give me the lyrics, give me the MP3s, give me the background, because I'm going to need to put that in that review. If the more work you do for me, the more I'm going to use your words. I
mm.
my own review of the actual music, but tell me your story, and then I don't have to go out on the internet looking at it, looking for it, and maybe get the wrong information. Tell me what you want to tell the rest of the world, and you want it to be, a good picture, a good, sound, good wording.
Well, yeah. And also, when you're interviewing, at least you can ask the right questions,
Well, that too. Yeah, that's very
because you got a bit of
important.
background.
Yeah, yeah, that's very important.
So it helps both in a whole lot of facets.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, there's some years and years ago, before the radio show and everything like that, there was a band from Chicago, Back Alley Crisis, and they said no, they're going to send me the CD because they want to tour South Africa.
Wow. Okay.
They came out of the blue. So they sent me the CDs. Their covers were hand drawn.
Okay. Oh boy.
And the
And
sad thing was they were a grunge band and they weren't that bad. I mean,
they were good. Yeah, yeah.
for a little garage band, they weren't that bad. But yeah, times have changed anyway.
And that's the first impression that people like me and you get, and you're like, your music's great, but how do I, put this on stage for you?
Mm,
And
mm,
that's what I try to tell them. You're putting yourself on the stage. How do you want? I mean, obviously, you do a lot of prep work, you do a lot of rehearsals, things like that. You got to do it for the message that you're sending out there. And so very important. All right, let's jump off of music for just a second. What are you mentioned a little bit, but what are some of your favorite hobbies? What do you do in Durban? What kinds of things uh yeah, what's fun for you to do?
mm.
When you
What's fun?
have free time, it doesn't sound like you have too much.
Well, no, no, no. I get woken up by my cats at 5 o'clock every morning because
No,
they need food.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but 5:30, I'm on the beach exercising,
Yeah,
going up and down the beachfront, drink coffee, meet some mates, and then we head back and we start work
yeah.
on our day jobs. What do I like doing for fun? We love going into the mountains and hiking. Um, Obviously, going for rides on the Harleys because my wife's got a Harley as well. So we load up and just ride off into the sunset somewhere, you know, that type of thing. But
Sounds
that's about pretty much it, you know. Nothing earth-shattering. I
no.
don't skydive, I don't deep water dive with sharks or anything like that. Um,
That's a little tricky, yeah.
I mean, in my
But
youth, I used to do a lot of rock mountaineering and rock climbing, but I'm far too old for that now. So that doesn't work anymore.
there's
Um,
nothing wrong with the beach, and you're real close to the beach. I know I am too, but yeah, um, I could spend hours and days. Yeah, you too. And
yeah,
he just mentioned it's one of the hottest times of the year. They're coming into it in January and February, and we're talking again South Africa, so you know that it's 30
it
Celsius.
goes upper 30s, yeah, lower 40s with
Yeah.
100% humidity.
Oof. Yeah, it's
So
not.
air conditioning is compulsory.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, and are you into the World Cup at all? Because I guess well, it's a while back, but 2010, you guys got to host
Mm,
some games, and here in Seattle, we're gonna this next year we're gonna be in Vancouver too. They're gonna be hosting some games, and everyone around here is just really excited, not just for the sports fans of the many sports fans, but also the economic impact that
mm.
that's going to bring. Did it do that for you? I mean, for
Yeah, very
the
much
area?
so. I mean, there were whole new stadiums that were built and everything like that. And I mean, tourism, Durban itself is a holiday town. So
Oh, okay.
literally from now until the end of January, we actually like say you can have the beach. We've got it for the rest of the year. Like we won't even go down there because
Yeah,
it's just insane,
yeah.
you know. Um,
And that's
so no, I did
people,
a lot.
that's Europeans. It's not Africans. It's probably Europeans coming down.
We get a lot of Europeans coming down, especially English. We get quite a few Japanese as well.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the local population as well. So, yeah, it becomes a bit of you can't get parking, everything's full, the prices go up, you know, the usual,
Yeah,
you're stuck in a tourist trap type place. But hey, it's a small price to pay because we head off into the mountains,
there
you
you
know.
go the opposite direction. Yeah, yeah. That and
But
that's
on the app,
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
do support Germany
Okay.
in my blood. It's only one side, and that's Germany. So
All right. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. And the Germans are always good. The
yeah.
US, I don't know. We always seem to lose at the end, but maybe because it's here, they'll take it more seriously, I hope.
Well, yeah, I mean, it will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll spark a whole lot of interest, and the youngsters will start taking more interest, and there'll be more money being funneled into the whole soccer sector and everything like that. So, yeah, absolutely. There'll definitely be an upsurge.
All right. Coming back to music, if you could interview anyone and they would say yes, who would be the band you absolutely would love to interview and haven't interviewed yet? That's a tough one.
Um, Visions of Atlantis.
I've done one and they are wonderful. They're very good at interviewing, very confident, and I caught him at a real high point too. I was lucky, and both of them are just fantastic. If you get a chance, listen to my interview. I asked them the question, "What's it like being on a tour bus?" And they told me. They did not hold back. Yeah. No, it was great. They're wonderful people. Yeah, and uh, it's harder to get an interview with them. I got them right before they uh, took off like a. They were piggybacking with another band I can't remember that came over here with a big tour, and I just missed them. But then the following year, I finally went to a show, and then. Um, actually met them, personally as well, face to face. But yeah, no, they're good people. And
Yeah,
Michael is everywhere in metal. I mean, he's does so many different collaborations with people. He's hopefully the template for more of these lead singers, and they're going to go out and you know, jump in and help other bands. And I think he really likes doing that. I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not speaking for
It
him.
it's also like within Temptation.
Oh, yeah.
Their lead guitarist, he pops up everywhere. He
Yeah.
does so many collaborations. I'd love to speak to Sharon as well
Yeah.
because I've got quite a few bands now in Ukraine that I've interviewed, and they've got tough times, and they're still pushing out the music.
It's unbelievable.
And then I don't know if you saw that Sharon from Within Temptation, she went to the Ukraine and she actually did a show there.
I think I saw that.
She's got it. She's got it on YouTube. It's a fascinating documentary. I think it's about 20 minutes long, but it really gives an insight. And I just said, well, there's a decent human being for you, you know?
Yeah. I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
What?
it's
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's an impossible question.
Well, you answered it, and I hope you do an interview with them because they just are.
I'm going to get hold of Clementine and Michael and think because a Dutch PR company that they use, Mike de Koonen, he actually offered me an interview with them a couple of months ago. And their time slots that they had allocated, I couldn't
Those
do it.
those two have been on. I mean, it's been weird not seeing them all over Facebook. I mean, they've been on tour, I don't know, 2, 3 years in a row, it seemed like.
Mm.
And yeah, I wouldn't want to do it that long. I mean, and you could tell sort of towards the end, they were like, we need a
You
break.
start getting tired, yeah.
Yeah.
But they did a show. Napalm Records did a show which was like a villa.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
called
yeah, yeah.
Rockstar Villa.
I saw that. That was, and they had Marina from Phantom
Yes.
Fleet. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
next question. He asked.
So let's just see where you're at on this. What is your favorite album of all time and favorite song? And again, tough questions. Nobody likes to answer those, but I'll tell you mine if you're afraid to say yours.
It's always a toss up and it depends what mood it is.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, my desert island album, as I call it, is Proud Words on a Dusty Shelf by Ken Hensley.
Huh? All right.
And that is closely linked to Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah. And what song?
On that album,
It doesn't have to be. It can be another, completely different band. Your favorite song you've ever heard?
Circle of Hands, Uriah Heep, without a doubt.
Okay.
I
For
mean,
me,
I'm an absolute Uriah Heep fanatic.
it sounds like it. Yeah. Well, I'm Genesis, and for me, um, the Vatican version of Supper's Ready. I was too young, and I was a little kid living with my parents when all that stuff happened. And once I was old enough to go see a show, my parents were like, "You're not going to any rock concerts." They were very, very conservative. So I missed that whole thing. But I did catch up with them in the 80s when I was old enough. But Peter was gone and it just wasn't the same. So for
Yeah.
me, and I still like their 80s albums. I'm not saying anything was wrong with them. But uh, Supper's Ready is still number one. It always will.
And Selling England by the Pound.
Is an excellent album, but for me, it's Foxtrot. It's
Foxtrot, that's it.
yeah, Foxtrot,
That's
and
the one with You Can't Jump Yet. Your shirt's all dirty. There's a man from the BBC,
yes,
Harold.
yeah, Harold the
Yeah.
Brown, yeah. Um, but
That's the only one I can remember from.
Supper's Ready is just like I've heard it. I don't know how many times, but I can listen to it again and again and again. The closest though, I'm telling you, and if you haven't heard of this band, Edenbridge,
Yes, I've heard
I'm
of
sure you've
Edenbridge.
heard it.
In fact, I've got some of their stuff that, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the new album that's coming out in 26. But why can't I think of the name of it now? Um, but there's a song that they do that is not Supper's Ready, but it is very, very close. Um, that's going to come back to me. But the yeah, I got to look it up. It's killing me. um, but they she's one of the most the bonding. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot that. Have you ever heard that song?
No,
Uh,
not off the top. Doesn't ring a bell, but I might most probably have heard it. But
a lot of their songs are very good, but the bonding just um, took them off the mat for me. I mean, it was just unbelievable, and it goes into so much depth. The music is wonderful. They have guests. I can't remember the guy's name, but they have a guest singer with her that does the good bad sort of thing all the way through the song. The lyrics are just almost up to the level of Gabriel's, and I'm hoping that they can come back and do something like that on this new one. The first couple songs have been very good that I've heard. Singles that I've seen are good, but watch for that. I think that's going to be pretty big next year. Um,
seeing that you're close to Canada, let me put you on the spot.
sure.
Rush.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen. I used to go to with my brother. We used to go to they called it spring training. I guess Getty or somebody was a baseball fan, and they'd always go in the springtime and have these tours, and they called it spring training. And I've got the um, programs, and it shows the spring training and stuff like that. It's really cool. But yeah, oh no, I love Rush. Yeah, they're fantastic, and it's so good to see them coming back. Because yeah, when you have the talent and you want to sing, and I think Led Zeppelin, sort of missed that opportunity. No, John Bonham, there's no one other than the drummer from Tool. The drummer from Tool is absolutely Carey is just to me, he's almost as good as John Bonham. But anyway, they missed an opportunity. Should have, yeah, take a year off, take two, three, whatever, half a decade, but then come back. because it's still, and they both, Jimmy and John, um, what's
Robert.
his, Robert, yeah. Jimmy and Robert were, sort of fighting over it. And should we do this? Should we not? Morally, yeah, you got to do it. You only live one life. And I'm glad Getty and Alex are going to do it because, and Amy, I think that's her name, the drummer.
The new drummer. It's going to be interesting.
Oh my God, wait till you hear her. One of
I've
the other,
heard her stuff, but
yeah,
like they're in the same quandary as bands like Linkin Park, for example, that
yeah,
immediately, like, who can replace Chester? Who can replace Neil?
yeah,
So I think they've followed that model. They've completely gone that way. And I personally, I never really liked Linkin Park. They had a couple of good things, but I was never really into them.
no,
But since Emily's joined the band, geez, she's brought a whole new dimension to the band.
yep,
And I've got the feeling, and I'm hoping Rush will have the same rejuvenation,
yeah, I
you
do
know?
too. Yep, I really think they will. Um, you got me going on Canada. Um,
There's some great bands in Canada.
Red Rider. Um, Tom Cochran is trying to do a lot of stuff on his own. That
Okay.
band, I wish they had never, stopped because they had I don't know, two or three records that were just fantastic. Oh, okay. Here's another one. The Tea Party. Have you ever heard of them?
Yes, yeah.
They are back, and I'm so happy about that because that was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. My brother and I walked in, and they had completely lit the place candlelight, and I've never experienced that for a major show like that. But I mean, that's all they had on the stage were candles. And Jeff is a genius as far as music. He's searched out music, African guitars, African drums, uh, Asian, all these different instruments were up on the stage. You walk in the door and it's candles and all these instruments you've never seen in your life. And then he goes and explains what they are and then he plays them. And it was, yeah, I'm so glad they're back. I don't know if he's doing all that anymore, but that was incredible.
There's a cool band. They're called My Own Addiction,
I think I've heard
Canadian
of
band. Look them up. They got some.
I'm gonna.
It's more like it's not heavy rock, hard stuff. It's almost verging on pop rock. Although they'd kill me if I said that, but it's like straightforward stuff.
They don't want to
But
hear.
but they're really a cool band and very cool people as well. Which suddenly I've just had an idea. And I
Sure,
don't know if I should voice it now or if you want to cut this bit out.
go for it.
Why don't we once a month do a session like this and we pick one of your bands and we pick one of my bands and we chat about both?
Let's do it. No, I'm in. Yeah, I think
Eh?
that's a good idea.
Something it's still crystallizing, but just something like that. Because then yeah, we can just feed off each other, which and then obviously that helps the bands as well.
Be happy to do it. Definitely. Um, and
I mean, it doesn't have to be two bands. We could maybe even stretch to four.
yeah,
But whatever. But something along, give it some thought because maybe that's the trick that we need.
what on my side I was thinking of that, and I don't know if it's going to be out until February, but and I can never say their name. Um, I'm looking for it right now. They, uh, yeah, it's not coming to me right now. But yeah, I think I've got a band already that might be the one to do that with. Yeah. No, I thank you. That is a wonderful offer. Accepted. I'd like to do that.
Okay, well,
We
let's
should do
put
that.
that in. Let's start planning that for
Sure.
next year, starting because this year's dead and gone with all the holidays.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I
Um,
got to put together. And are you putting together a greatest, top 10, top 20 for the year?
well, what I'm actually doing is, and I've done it for the last 3 years, and it's actually quite fun. I send out a newsletter to all the bands, and I say, send me your Christmas wishes to the listeners,
Oh, okay.
and then
That's a
you
good
will
idea.
be on the show.
All right.
At the moment, it looks like I might have to do 4 shows
Oh my God.
because
Man,
it's
that's
filling up.
awesome.
It's already 2 shows, but it's great, and that's the one thing I always say to the bands that I interview. This is not a one-off. If you want anything, if you want me to broadcast anything that you've got a gig or you've got a show or you've got a new band member or you've cancellations or anything, just let me know and I'll push it out there for you, you know?
That's great. I try to do that on Facebook, but I'd like to start doing more of that myself. That's a great idea.
Mm.
Yeah. These guys.
Okay, well, I think that's a cool idea. Now, while I'm talking, I've just had another idea.
All right.
Because when you publish this interview straight after, I'm going to retort with this.
All right.
It's 10 easy questions.
Oh,
There's no right
ask,
or wrong answer.
you're going to ask me now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well,
it's a
I mean,
pop. It's a pop.
I'd be more than happy to do it, but hopefully I'll get a chance to be on a show. But go
No,
ahead.
you
Go
will.
ahead.
I'll be
We're
pushing this
going to
out.
do that. Yeah, go ahead. Favorite food. Um, well, it's definitely seafood, but I can't decide between lobster and shrimp or salmon. But and oysters. Oh my God, we have some fantastic oysters up here. So yeah, one of those three. Favorite city. Um, People in Seattle hate me, but it's Vancouver, Canada. Um, Genesis. I mean, it's equal Genesis and Led Zeppelin because those are the two favorite color. Blue. Oh, that's easy. Movie. That's a tough one. I always say It's a Wonderful Life, but well, let's just go with that. But I mean, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, there's so many. Song, yeah, Supper's Ready, Genesis, Dogs. Yeah, absolutely. I had a little Sheltie. That's a tough one. That is a real tough one. Um, God, I mean, Harrison Ford, Mark, why can't I remember his name? We're born the same day. Uh, Luke Skywalker, Mark
Hamill.
Hamill, that's it. Um, yeah, favorite drink. This is gonna be funny, but Kahlua. And I no wait, no Guinness. I'm sorry, Guinness and then Kahlua. Yeah, I love Guinness, and of course your show. Definitely the Iceberg Show.
Now,
I mean, there's no radio. We don't have prog radio. We don't even, I don't really think we have metal radio in Seattle. It's either grunge, pop, or, you know, classics rock. I mean, it's so sad because this is one of the greatest, Seattle's one of the greatest music towns in the United States. And uh, they just, it felt the sort of the floor caved in after grunge. But this jersey that I'm wearing, I don't know if you could see this.
yeah.
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and that is a rock city, and that's why they have the Hall of Fame. Um, but yeah, as far as rock cities, Cleveland beats them because we used to have Springsteen would come through there almost as much as he went to Jersey. I mean, he loved the place. And this one night, I went to see his show. That was about 4 hours, 5 hours. I couldn't believe it. And then a bunch of friends and I walked out and went over to a bar. He walks into the bar and does another 2 or so hours of playing. And it's like, where the hell does he get that energy? And I was, I don't know, 15, 16, and he was probably in his 20s or 30s. And it's still young, but 5 hours, 6 hours, and you're giving it your all. It just blew me away.
Yeah, I mean, I still think his first album, Born to Run, is his best album.
Yeah, he had a lot
I
before
mean,
that, but
yeah,
that is a classic.
that especially like Thunder Road. I don't know, you've seen he does a piano version on the Howard Stern show,
Yep,
and you
I've
flip and
seen
get
that.
goosebumps.
Yes. Oh yeah, no. And there's another song, uh, a girl's room or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but oh, and the shuffle.
Mm,
There's songs that, yeah, I mean, I love Born to Run. I mean, who would not? But there's other songs on that album that just get missed, and it's like,
mm.
yeah, you really need to pay attention to the whole thing because I I can't remember the shuffle. It's driving me nuts because I sang it as a kid all the time. But that's on Born to Run, and that almost became my favorite song on that album. But well,
I
hey,
think,
Kai, I could talk to you all day.
yeah, I was about to say, flipping hell.
But yeah,
But one last thing.
yeah.
What do you think about all this AI music?
Well, I don't listen to it, so I saw that story about that. I think it was on 60 Minutes or something like that, where they created this lady, and she actually got thousands of hits, and people are wanting her to. She's not real, but they're wanting her to do a whole album and do a tour. I mean, how do you do a tour? Well, they'll figure out something. But yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame because instead of her doing it, there could be a real woman that's doing that. And yeah, I'm not a big fan. I think it's kind of like synthesizers were back in the 60s and 70s. There was a whole bunch, people that were like, what the hell are we doing with these things? Get that crap out of here. And yes, I love all those. And I was not one of those people. But there's a lot of wonderful things that brought to music. So if it can enhance that and maybe take, you know, instrumental stuff up a notch, if the band can use it. Now, I'm not saying replacing band members, don't replace the keyboardist. Use the technology to maybe improve things or, create something new. That's okay. But, I'm not going to go to I'm not going to go to many
Yeah.
pop shows these days, but I'm not going to go and watch, on a screen some lady that's not even real.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, all they're doing these things are resampling existing music.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not creating.
No.
Whereas with synthesizers, you still had to create.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, because I got approached by a radio station and they said, would I like to present? They're doing a radio station that's going to promote AI music.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that's the future. And I just said no. And they
Yeah.
said, well, why not? I said, well, it's not real people. I've got enough of a task here trying to push out real
There you
people
go.
without having to flip and get above the noise of all this AI stuff that's flying around. So they were
Yeah,
rather taken aback. And they said, no, well, we'll pay you well. And I said, you could pay me a fortune. I'm not going to,
it's
well, maybe $1 million a show, I might like bend a bit.
yeah. If you really get outrageous with the amount of money you're going to give me, maybe I got it.
Yeah.
But
But no, it goes totally against the absolute moral fiber in me,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And you can't interview AI bands. I said,
No, yeah, really.
what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Stare at a screen and say,
What did you?
anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's wrap this.
Yes, definitely. Hey, thank you very much for that offer. That offer is taken. You're going to see more of us together. And uh, just thank you very much for taking all this time, Kai. Um, Anything we missed? I don't think we did, but
No, I think there's so much rubbish on this thing.
we
People will
put a
be
lot of.
nodding off halfway through.
I hope not. I hope they listen to us on some of these bands we've been talking about. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much for being here. And it came to me after, looking up all these bands that you've been popping out. Why don't you just interview, ask him if he wanted to do an interview? And I was like, he's not going to, he's too busy. And thank God you weren't. And really, thank you for coming.
No, no, it's more than a pleasure because at the end of the day, we're on the same mission.
Yeah.
And which reminds me, like when you publish this interview, make sure you invite me as a collaborator on YouTube.
Oh, all right.
Do you know you can do that now?
I don't know how to do it, but I can look it up and figure it out.
Yeah, just Google how to make a YouTube collaborator actually thing, and then what it'll do is it'll tag the your video with my video in the title,
Oh, okay.
and then people can subscribe to either channel. And then also then it'll push it out into my channel. The same way as collaboration works on Instagram.
I need that help. Yeah, definitely. All right.
Cool.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Well, hey, thank you again. Stay here for just a minute. I'm just gonna stop the interview and we can talk for a few seconds. But again, thank you very much for everything. It was a great talk. Hold on a minute.